And after Peter says a few words, we forgive him for being late. I want to say that Jay Townsend is here. He's going to say a few words. Then I will allow the public here to ask questions of these three candidates. Peter.
Folks, I want to thank you for your patience and apologize for my delay. My wife, Lisa, and I were just over in Schoharie County celebrating two young Girl Scouts who were receiving their Bronze Award through the Scouting Movement. And one thing that I want to say, and this is the message that I sent to those young people, and I, as a believer in those sorts of programs, the Scouting Movement, our goal is to develop citizens and to develop people who prize the freedoms that we have. And one, I'll tell you a quick story. About 2 years ago, I went over to Gilbertsville, and we had a young man there, several young men. It was an Eagle Scout leading a troop who were focusing on their citizenship in the nation, Merit Band. So I came over on a Sunday afternoon after church, wintry day. They're all seated there, and there's one little guy sitting there. He's got a little frown on his face, a little crew cut, little buck teeth. And I said, young man, I said, what's the matter? He said, well, Mr. Lopez, it's Sunday. I don't want to be here. I want to be home playing video games. I don't want to learn nothing on a Sunday. So I said, okay, young man. I said, tell you what, let's have a little conversation and let's talk about what it means to be an American. And we talked about the freedoms that we have. And we talked about all the protections and all the riches and abundance that are part of being an American citizen. And I said, imagine, you could have been born in a hut in Ethiopia. You could have been born in Iraq or Iran. And by a miracle of birth, you are here in the greatest country in the world, surrounded by loving friends and family. And you have to cherish that freedom. And you have to protect those freedoms. Because if you don't, you will lose them. And as we got through the conversation, the little guy started to smile. And I thought, you know what, I'm getting him. And when we finished, I said, well, young man, what do you think? Was it okay? He looked at me and said, Mr. Lopez, it was pretty good. 2 years has gone by. I went to an Eagle ceremony there, and there he was. He's advanced to first class. And so what I see, and this is our challenge, our investment, the time we spend with neighbors and friends and family, investing in each other, reinforcing those things that are so precious to us, pay dividends. And so I do want to apologize. We shared that same story with those two young Girl Scouts and their families, and it has meaning. So I want to say, I stand here with you. And I stand here with you because I value the freedoms and the protections and the richness that is America. And I can tell you, I've had other people take aim at me because I dare to stand with the ideals that you represent. People who wouldn't sign my petitions as I'm circulating to run for office. And my answer to them is, folks, you don't understand. The Tea Party movement is not a political movement in terms of being political people. These are everyday people who are motivated because of their love for this country to stand up for it. And that's why we're here. Yes, and I know we have some other folks here who are very much in support of your movement, and I'm going to exit, and then I'll be happy to answer questions as you're... Yes, sir, I'm on my way. Thank you.
You must have been in the service. And now I'd like to introduce Jay Townsend, who's here to speak to us a few minutes.
And yes, I'm running against Chuck Schumer, and I know exactly what I'm doing. I know exactly why I'm doing it. And so you at the camera, please tell Chuck I said hello. We just got here. We were up in Herkimer County a little bit earlier today, and I'm going to say to you what I said to them. Thank you for what you are doing, and thank you for being here this evening, and thank you for your efforts to take our country and our state back. I want you to put yourself in Senator Schumer's shoes for a second. and then you'll understand why he is refusing to debate me. The Obama-Schumer agenda is not working for New York. And the Obama-Schumer agenda is not working for the United States of America. And he has to come home now and defend what has gone on in the U.S. Congress. First, let's talk about what they did not do. This was Chuck Schumer's Senate. You remember he elected 12, 13, 14 Democrats. Get it all the way to 60. And then we're going to run the country and everything will be great. Well, this well-organized Democratic machine of Harry Reid and Chuck Schumer didn't pass a federal budget. They're on their way home without a budget. They sat on their hands and they've had 2 years to pass an immigration bill. Couldn't get it done. They've sat around and for 2 years had plenty of time to extend the 2001 and 2003 tax cuts. And now they say, well, we have to wait until the lame duck session, and then we'll do something from a Congress which we must hope will be full of defeated incumbents. Now, this is what they did do. They passed a health care bill, a monstrosity, a bill that we now know was a lie and a fraud and a farce. Pretty hard to defend that health care bill. And they passed $1 trillion pork-laden stimulus bill that we now know did not work, that everybody now knows was also a lie and a fraud and a farce. And the only thing we got to show for that is $1 billion in new debt that we owe the Chinese now. Thank you very much, Senator Schumer. Yeah. It's pretty hard to defend that record.
No kidding.
But tonight, in every place I go from here on in the month of October and early November, we're going to be talking about the results of the Schumer-Obama agenda here in New York. Tonight, 1 million New Yorkers are going to go to bed without a job to go to in the morning. Thanks to Senator Schumer and these unfunded mandates that he's been voting for in Washington, New York State now has the highest property tax burden in the nation, 80% above the national average. You know what just galls me when he comes up here and he talks about jobs? As though he is clueless about the fact that what he is doing to New York is driving jobs out of New York.
That's right.
He talks about a government grant to do this and a government grant to do that, and I just want to slap his face and say, my God, would you just cut the taxes and shut up? Now, during his tenure in the United States Senate, 1.5 million people have fled the state of New York. Tens of thousands of manufacturing jobs have disappeared from New York. For every dollar we send to Washington, we get less than 80 cents back. Somewhere between 25 and $30 billion a year is drained out of New York's economy. It goes to Mississippi, Arizona, Arkansas. Never makes its way back here. If last year we just got back $1 for every dollar we sent to the federal government, you could balance the state budget and give everybody in New York a $10 billion tax cut. This is the Schumer-Obama record. Yes, it's going to be pretty doggone hard to defend. This may be the reason that this man refuses to debate me, has not responded to a single invitation to debate. We still haven't heard from him. We were invited to debate in New York City on WABC. He's hiding under his desk. No wonder. I'm going to take the case to every place, anybody that will listen to me, any reporter that will talk to me, any radio station that will hear me out. And you know, if he refuses to debate, I think we may do the imaginary Chuck and simply have a debate with the imaginary Chuck. Now, do you remember the imaginary family that he wrote about? He wrote a whole book about this imaginary family called the Baileys. And he says he consults this imaginary family when he wants to know what real New Yorkers think. Right? Come November 2nd, he's going to find out in a big way what real New York families think. Thank you.